Jo here from Creative Empowerment. Today I'm back with another pick a card reading, and this pick a card reading is all about animal spirit messages. So what sort of animal spirits are around you and what messages are they wanting to impart to you in your life at this time? As with all pick a card readings, it's about finding the pile that you're drawn to and connecting with that pile because the energy has something in it for you. If you'd like to know more about how to pick the right card every time, there's a video of that in my collection, so if you go in there and have a look, you'll find it. To help you choose and make these connections stronger, I have some feathers today. So the first feather we have is tawny frogmouth. The second feather we have is crow. And the last feather is a seabird, like sort of seagull, but it's the big seagulls or seabirds. I'm not sure what they're actually called, but a big feather there. So have a good look at those piles and see which pile or piles are calling you for today. And this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and let the rest go. And if you would like a private reading that is focused on the energies of your life, there is a link in the description box below. But let's go ahead and jump straight to your readings. Okay, so pile number 1. You might like to look up tawny frogmouth, particularly if you're not from Australia. I don't know if they are found anywhere else, but they are a bird that's like an owl but not an owl. And I think they're they're about the shadow self and about transformation, but that's just from memory. So you might want to have a look it up. Might want to look it up and see what messages that there may be coming from the tawny frogmouth. So the first two cards that we have for you are, I've just turned it around the wrong way, Fire Dragon and Ram. Wow. So we have a lot of fire here. So not only the Fire Dragon, but Ram is very much, it's an earth animal, but it has a fiery presence. If you think about that Aries connection, and I actually want to put out this card for you too, and it's Eagle. So they're your 3 animal spirit messages or messengers. I'm going to keep going over those words today, I feel. Okay, so we have a lot of fire energy here. We have the Fire Dragon, which is about transmutation, I was going to say transportation, but it's more about transmutation and transformation. Okay, so we have the Fire Dragon here, which is similar to this feather, in fact. And I'm just noticing the brown also going into these 2 animals here. So we have a lot of energy about transformation and transmutation, because fire transmutes things into, from one form into another. We have breakthrough energy, aspirations and getting to the top of where it is that you wanted to go or want to go. And then we have Eagle, which is very much about self. There's a lot of single energy going on here. A dragon is very much is a solo creature, protecting and guarding treasure. The ram here, the male ram, is protecting the herd, but also very much, that sort of egocentric, looking after what is his, I suppose, is the way I'm thinking about it. And then we have the Eagle, which is another, again, looks after the family, but there is this solo, we see eagles often on their own, flying on their own. So we have land, we have air, and we have fire. So all those elements are here. And again, we have air and mostly air with this one here. This feels like there is about to be, or there is currently happening in your life, a transformation around work or family. Those are the 2 strong pulls that I'm getting. And the animal spirits here want to talk to you about what you're creating, because there's a hill here and there's another hill here. So I feel like you may have been working quite hard to eventually get what you want. It feels like there's a lot of family sort of things going here and something to protect. So, you know, you could be working hard at work, building something for your family, or building something, you know, to help, you know, building something for you. It doesn't really have to be the family, but there does seem to be a family connection here. The other thing that I'm noticing about these energies, the dragon, fire dragon and ram, is that there could be a bit of hard-headedness, a bit of stubbornness, and a bit of like this very central, these heads of both of these animals. And I feel like there may be things you might not be seeing. We might have a look at that with the cards. I've left it open to see what comes up for each group. So that might be something that we want to have a look at for you, pile 1, as you're going through this transformation, as you're, you know, getting this breakthrough kind of energy. And the eagle also kind of calls that out too. It's about taking a different perspective, and it's about really, everyone here is looking towards the future, which I like for you, pile 1, but I also feel like there's something that you're missing when you're reviewing or when you're looking at this. So let's have a look at that now. Take those. What have we got? Now they're actually in the reverse for me, but they're coming up in the right side for you. And I'm going to put them there, and I want to see if there's any other information coming in here. I thought there was something else there. So all of these cards are indicating, you know, a change in structure. That's the message that I'm getting from the animal spirits. There's a change in structure coming. The Emperor is in the reverse. The Emperor, you know, he has that Aries. It's that same sort of hard-headedness, and it's in the reverse. So I feel like this is the thing you don't see coming. This is the thing that you don't have your eye on this prize here. There's a little bit of stubbornness. There's a little bit of feeling like you know everything. Feeling like you have all your ducks in a row, I suppose is the way I'm thinking about this. And this card here is in the upside position. And sometimes it can mean do something different, you know, go outside of the norm. But to me, this is talking about a change in some sort of structure. And again, we've got the Aries. So it's fiery, it's a bit stubborn, it's a bit hard-headed, can dig their heels in when, you know, when things don't go their way. And I feel that's the sort of thing that I'm sort of seeing here. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. So this is talking about slow-moving money energy, or even projects based that are going to earn you an income. This could also be, if this is talking about a house for some people, this is almost a feeling of things moving backwards. I've got a feeling with this card here. And then the last card I pulled is the Ten of Wands in the upright position. There's in all of this, in the messages from the animals, there's something you're not seeing coming, and it feels like, because it's sitting on top of the eagle, it feels like you're carrying too much, and it's time to put something down. Now, because this card's a hanging on card, he's hanging on to something. There's a stubbornness here. This is protecting something. So it's all about holding on to energy. It's all about preserving something, but it's preserving something and not allowing the flow in. And this card here is basically saying that, you know, to get where you want to go, to be in the one position, you're going to need to put something down. And I'm going to ask the animal spirits, you know, for any other messages here around what this is. What is this thing? It's too many cards there. There's about 5 cards there. I just want 1 or 2 cards to explain what this thing is. What is this thing? Here we go. Octopus. Okay. So this is mental. Octopus is talking about mental things. There's a lot of energy going on in the head of octopus and trying to do too many things, you know. There's and also there's the darkness around octopus, which shows me that you're really stuck in it. You're not getting your head up and out, which is what this is about. And this is too many irons on the fire. So I'm just going to use one example of this, and it may not be your example, but you apply it to whatever it is. It's like if you are, if you're buying a home or about to change homes, and you're trying to do everything yourself. You're trying to do the moving, you're trying to do the cleaning of the house, you're trying to do the packing, you're trying to get this other new house ready, you're trying to get the finance ready, you're trying to, whatever these things are. There's too many things here going on. And yes, you do seem like the protector of the family, or it could just be that you're on your own and you have to do all these things. But it doesn't mean that you can't ask for help. This is a card of putting down the things that have become too much of a burden. And mentally, these things are draining you. And these animal spirits are coming in to say it's too much for you. Now, that doesn't mean it's a defeated too much for you, because that's where this sort of stubborn energy comes in. It's not about being defeated in this energy. It's about knowing that you're not going to do the job that you want to do. You're going to, half-ass it is what I want to say. You're only going to do, half of the job in all of those aspects. So it means that all of those things, you're going to have to keep coming back to them, which is this mental energy. It's very tiring. So whatever you're doing feels like you've got a lot of passion and a lot of excitement, and, you're very good at it too. You know you're good at it. My whole body wants to tip over now that I've said all that. But this mental energy is too draining for you. It feels like you can't get out of it, but that's what the 10 is about. The 10 is putting things down. And it's up to you to decide which things are important, which things you're going to keep. And this is very much about looking at your shadow self, looking at the things that, this is all teaching you. What is important for you to hang on to? What is your goal, and how is the best way to move forward with it? Perhaps you need to change the structure of it. Perhaps you need to put some of these things on hold while you're doing this thing. There's a million ways of doing this, and because this is a group reading, they're all going to be different. But for you to get what you want, which is to protect this treasure, protect whatever it is that you're doing, the animal spirits are guiding you to a different option. They are telling you that you've taken on too much and it's time to put some of it down. Thank you for being here today. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please like, share and support my channel by subscribing and letting your friends know that you enjoyed this video. Hope to see you in the future. And as always, if you'd like a private reading, there is a link in the description box below. Oh, and please follow me on Facebook. I'll put a link in the description also. Bye for now. Hi there, pile 2. If you chose the crow feather, then this is your reading, and it's all about messages from animal spirit guides that might be around you, or animal spirits that are around you. Crow is a messenger from the void. Crow is about law, sacred law, understanding the laws of the universe and living by them. Crow is very much about the void, that blackness of where everything is created. So there's some very deep messages in there, and you may want to look up Crow and see what that message is, drawing to you, being guided to you. And there's another message here with Crow that I'm really noticing. The end of the tail has just this little bit where it's pointed. I haven't really noticed that before, and I'm really being drawn to that by the animal spirit guides around me, and one of mine is Crow. And I'm being told that that for this Crow group, there is something that Crow is going to help you put a finer point on it. So whatever the message is that you're going to receive, there's something in particular for you to pay attention to at this time. So let's get into your cards and let's see what else we can bring up for you. Okay, so another blackbird, which is blackbird, love it. And bear. Okay, now I'm going to bring all your animal spirit cards out. Oh, we have crow. Ha, that's awesome. I love that. And another blackbird and squirrel. Okay, pile 2. That's so interesting that you pulled a crow feather and you got crow. I feel like I want to start there first, which I feel like I'm going to. So crow here is looking at its own reflection. Crow is looking at its shadow, you know, looking at its shadow side, seeing if it knows who it is, and making sure that it's like a spiritual accounting. That's the message that I'm getting here for you. It's like, are you keeping score? Are you tallying up the things that you're doing and things that you're saying, and then the deeds that you're doing? Are they mirroring each other? Because crow is coming to talk to you about, there's a day of, well, it sounds really ominous, but a day of reckoning. Now that doesn't mean that anybody else is judging you. This is about self-judgment. Or it's not even about self-judgment, it's more about self-evaluation. If you're evaluating your actions and your deeds with what you're doing, do they measure up? And crow is about law. And if you are not measuring up to your own words, there feels like there is a due to be paid here of some aspect. Now, that sounds pretty heavy, but let's have a look at what these other cards are talking about and get a bigger picture. But that's the message from crow, and crow is coming in quite strongly for you. So you may want to look up crow. So we have another blackbird. We have the blackbird. So we have crow, which is all black, but it also has sort of sheen colours to its feathers, and is all about the void. The blackbird is the bird of twilight. It is the bird of crossing over the boundaries between the real world and the three-dimensional world and the other world or underworlds. And here in the picture we have a cave which represents the underworld or the other worlds. Now, the blackbird is looking up to the sky, whereas crow is looking down and looking at the underworld or the shadow self. And I feel like there's a bit of a disparity here, because my body is really, like, my heart is becoming not overwhelmed, but a little bit anxious. My heart is sort of saying, there's a responsibility here that I don't understand the messages here. So I'm just going to give you the messages I'm getting. I'm not going to vet them. But there's a responsibility with crow, because crow knows the law, the universal laws, and crow knows and understands what it means to bring something from the void, you know, to bring a creation from the void into this world. Blackbird is almost like a gatekeeper. I think that is one of the things about blackbird, is a gatekeeper for the underworld. So I feel like you're being asked, do you measure up to this, to going to the other side, to getting this information? You could be someone who's on a spiritual quest, or you could be someone who is learning spirituality from social media. Now, I know I'm on social media, but not all things on social media are true and accurate and in the light and supportive and knowledgeable and bring knowledge that they themselves have, or, you know what I mean? Like, this feels like somebody who's been watching people on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or somewhere like that, and it feels like they don't have the right credentials to be teaching you what they are teaching you. Okay? Really strange thing to be talking about. But these two cards here are talking to you about understanding that the knowledge that you get about the other world and underworld has to be accurate. It has to stand up to the law. It has to be, well, an Australian word which I never use is rigidig. It has to be, you know, law. That's the word I just keep coming back. You have to make sure that it is the right type of information. And that's really interesting because Bear is almost looking left to right between these two birds. And it's about sovereignty, you know, like really owning who you are. And again, we've got, this is midwinter, the Bear. And it's a time for celebration, but it's kind of like, you know, what's the celebration that we have midwinter? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, midwinter, which is the winter solstice. So it's really about acknowledging, you know, that the middle of winter, which is the darkest point, but it's the remembering that the light is coming. So again, we've got the shadow, we've got the light and the dark, we've got the gatekeeper, and then we have here the Bear, which is about marrying your intuition with your instinct. Now, I feel like the Bear is coming to you to talk about, you know, that honesty and things like that. And it's about understanding that what you're wanting to be, you know, maybe a spiritual warrior, because that's what this card is also about. It's only if you listen to your instinct and your intuition will you be able to find the information that is right for you. Because these cards here are talking about that responsibility, about being responsible in the information that you gather, because you will be someone else's teacher at some point. And Squirrel is all about gathering. It's all about collecting, you know, the things that are going to take you on your journey. And if we look at Bear also, you know, goes into a cave. So more references here to the cave, but gathers and, you know, has enough weight on it so that it can withstand the winter, you know, going into hibernation. And the squirrel does the same thing. It gathers so that it can, you know, over the winter months, it has enough to eat. But this feels more like, you know, food for thought, spiritual food for thought. Excuse my words here. So I want to ask, you know, what else? Actually, I'm going to bring in some more animal spirit energy here to get further clarification on why this is so important for you at this time. Pile 2, Crow pile. Why is this so important? This responsibility about the types of spiritual information that Crow is. So we have 2 more cards here. I'm just going to move that to the side. We have camel and we have deer. Now we have, well, here we have the head and the neck area. We have 2 extremes, one that's colourful and light, and then this sort of heavier energy of camel. And this feels like night and this feels like day. Deer is very much about a gentleness, about an honestness, and camel is about grit and determination, you know, working through something that is hard. But why? Why is this so important for group 2? Why is it so important for group 2 then to work through, you know, understanding these spiritual laws, information, responsibility about the underworld, the overworld, or the other worlds? Why? Why is this important? Right, well, we got a ton of cards there. I am not going to take them all. I'm going to take the Justice and I'm going to take the Fool. Am I? Yes. And apparently I'm going to take all of these cards, which feels like way too many for me. I'm going to, which way do they go up? And bring them down here. All right, so we've got a heap of cards here for you. Why is this important for you? There is an importance for you that this is bringing something into balance. And here, Justice card is sitting right over Crow card. So feels like this is playing out something for you in a past life. You're playing out and rebalancing some karma from a past life with Crow, and with what you're doing and why it's so important, because this doesn't, it doesn't always apply for everybody. You're setting out on a new path, and this time, this is about really feminine energies coming in for the Fool here. It's about connecting to the divine in a very interesting and unique way. And this journey that you're on, I think I may have said that before, is a very spiritual one. And it's like you have to start from zero. You have to start from that 0 point. It's going to be very good for you. The Ace of Pentacles coming in here, which is all about opportunities and opening up. We have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, but here I'm really noticing the key, because this is about understanding that not all the avenues that you're going to choose are going to be the right one for you, which is then the Five of Pentacles. Look, we've got the 5 and then the 6 here, and we've got lots of pentacles. So this could be that you are someone who is actually going to become a teacher. You are someone who's going to impart your knowledge in this spiritual realm in some way, which is why this is so important for you, because we have a lot of Pentacles cards here. Then we have the 6, which is coming above the Justice card as well. And this is a card of rebalancing karma, or rebalancing. And, now that it's in this flow here, I can see that could be the case. We also have the Empress and the High Priestess, which is the 2 and the 3 card. And they are reversed. So it feels like to me that it's like you've been denying this for a very long time. And the things that you watch are extremely important. It's like, if you go on, I hate the word diet, but if you choose to eat certain things and you stray from that, or you decide you're going to binge on something, nobody cares except you. It's your body, it's your choice. But the things that you binge on, when I was talking over here before about social media people who may not have the right credentials, you need to make sure that what you binge on is productive and it feeds you. And the Empress is all about abundance, but it's in the reverse here. So it's about making sure that what you take in, what you process for you, is right for you. These are both very, very much about your intuition, and the High Priestess, again, it's in the reverse. So these cards here are talking about you connecting with this feminine aspect. And, Crow, I have this feeling that I think that Bear is also sort of goddess energy. So it's this sort of goddess energy that feels like it's rebalancing for you. And it's very important what you take in and who you take in, because it does feel like you may get paid to teach other people at some point, or that you may take on a role where your teachings are important to others. So your groundings, your beginnings, your structure is very important. Now, I do apologise, Pile 2. I feel like I've been really lecturing at you, but this is the messages that came through for you today. If you would like a private reading, please book one in the link in the description box below. Please make sure you follow me on Facebook, where I'm going to start doing some different things on Facebook. So please make sure you're following me on there, which is Creative Empowerment Australia. And looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Please like, share and subscribe as always. Bye for now, Pile 2. Hi there, Pile 3. If you chose the Seabird feather, then this is your reading today. And this feather, not that I know much about the bird that this comes from, but I'm feeling a real strength of character from this feather. And I'm feeling like a strong backbone, like that you have strength, inner strength to call on. So I'm just giving you the message from the feather. You may like to look up seagull, and they're big brown seagulls. I really don't know what they're called, but it could just be called a gull. I'm not sure. So you have Wolf, and I love this card. You know, it's very much a loyalty sort of energy, Wolf, similar to Dog in a way. Very much about, you know, learning so that you can be a teacher for others, about your intuition, about the shadow. And, you know, Wolf is often a hunter, but it's also a hunter for a pack or for, you know, for your pack, for your own pack. And there's a feeling about this card that's stepping into something new. You know, it's a new day is dawning here. There's some emotional stuff that's leaving you is coming in with Wolf. And Wolf is a great teacher, and sometimes you need to, you know, step over things that are comfortable, or step out of your comfort zone, or go beyond what you thought you were capable of, or sometimes cross a boundary that was there. You know, there's these elements coming in here with Wolf. We also have Cow, and we have Cow in the reverse. And isn't this the most beautiful cow you ever seen? These Scottish Highland cows, I love them, with all their hair. Now, it's a very solid, you know, very abundant cow is, but that's in the upright position. And in this position here, this is possibly talking to you about, you know, you not seeing your own worth, you not believing that you're abundant, you not seeing everything that there is in your life. And perhaps we're coming to this teaching aspect in your life. Perhaps this is about, you know, the fact that if you're not seeing everything in your life, this is why Cow is showing up, that when you're not grateful or acknowledging the things that are there in your life, it means that you're blocking yourself off from receiving. And here, Cow has got this very still water happening here with only just a tiny ripple, whereas Wolf has got everything flowing. So Wolf, and it's in the upright. So Wolf feels like this is when you're acknowledging this lesson that you may be learning at the moment, pile 3, that you are a very, very strong person. You do have a strong backbone. You have this great instinct within you. However, you may be moving forward, because both of these animals are tentatively stepping forward, not believing that the things that you want are going to open up for you, that you're going to have to fight for them, that they're not even there, is how I'm seeing it. Like, these animals aren't seeing the goal, the end goal in front of them. They're hoping, wishing, praying, but not believing that they are worthy of receiving. And that's definitely what Cow is all about. It's not receiving what you want because you don't believe you're worthy of it. You don't see the abundance in your life. And the energy that's in both of these animals, spirit cards, is talking to me about this lovely energy around you. So I feel like in your life, even if there are things that you, you know, that aren't all ticking every box you want, there is a lot to be happy for. There is a lot to be thankful for in both of these cards. Now, the final energy here with animal spirit energy, we'll bring some more cards in a minute, is Otter. And this is a card about being playful. It also feels like very much about your inner child. And this is where this, you know, woundedness about abundance, about perhaps it's money, but it can be abundance in love, and it can be abundance of friends. You know, it can be any way, shape or form. But this feels like this is going back to a childhood thing that we're working with here. And you can see that while Otter's playful and mischievous, there's quite a bit of disturbed water there, and it looks quite dark, even though, like, it depends, because sometimes you see, when you see cards, they have an appearance and you don't notice it that day. But this day, or today for you, pile 3, I am really noticing the disturbed water. So I want to look at more, what's this, there we go. What is this for you? What is this lack mentality? Wow. Okay. So some very high spiritual vibrations going on here. We have Gazelle, which is really looking you in the eye talking about your self-worth. You know, gazelle and otter are really kind of, the otter really doesn't want to look you straight in the eye, but gazelle is. Gazelle is saying this is self-worth here that is, you know, being transferred. The animals are talking to you about it. Unicorn is talking about your third eye and, you know, your ability to connect to spirit and trusting spirit. Both of these have got, you know, this connection to spirit here, the ability to connect to spirit here. And then owl is all about wisdom, but it's also about secrets. And it feels like the big secret here is your self-worth, your belief that as a child, you know, something or somebody wounded you, or it could be, it doesn't feel past life related for this group, but this feels like something from childhood, and it feels around self-esteem, and it could also be around, you know, sort of the opposite sex, whatever, you know, relationship-based stuff, sex, that sort of thing. There's also there's a bit of an embarrassment that I'm feeling here, and this could have been formed quite early on, and it's a belief that's not even true. Now, how do I know it's not true? Because the gazelle's looking straight at you. The gazelle is looking you straight in the face, and so is owl, and they're not taking no for an answer. They know that this is something that you can overcome. It is a self-esteem issue. It is a self-worth issue. And the sooner that you get on it, we'll have that, you know, the zero, which is all the potential that there is open and possible for you. Unicorn, here we go. Unicorn, cards flying out before I've even really connected with what's going on. Unicorn is a very spiritual card. It's one of the spirit suits in this particular animal spirit deck, and it's talking to you about connecting with your guides and asking them to help you with this, asking animal spirit guides to help you with this. Now, the other energies that we're bringing in here, we have the Three of Wands, which is talking about, you know, you doing the work, and perhaps you're waiting to see what comes in. And I feel like that you may have done the work, but I also there's some question around this. I'm not sure, because this is a group reading, not understanding this message completely, but it's more around the fact that you're believing that the work, or all the work is done. That's the message, that you're believing that all of the work is done. And spirit, you know, we've got spirit on both sides here, wisdom and guidance. And the message here is that, and it could be that they involve three people, that's a possibility for you. But the message here is that hoping and praying and planning that it's over without completing it is not going to, you know, to get it done. Now, we also have lots of circles here, so I feel like circle energy could be important for you, and I'm just putting that out there because that could mean something like you're involved in a circle, you pay a take in a circle, you know, you work with circles in some way. And as I said before, it's a group reading, so that could apply in many different ways. But we have the Ten of Wands here. This is a card of carrying a burden. This is a card of knowing that it's time to put this down. However, it's not showing up. I don't feel like you completely understand that this is your burden, that you're carrying it. I feel like, you know, we've got the cow here, which is a beast of burden traditionally. And I don't feel like you understand that you're carrying the burden with you. That whatever this thing is from childhood, that you're continuing to carry it. Now, I have done a video about inner child wounds. You might want to look at that. I also do healings, and we can work with inner child things there, but you can always find a healer that is closer to you or relates to you in a more personal way. This is not to say that you can't do this yourself. However, this feels like a new thing to me, in the sense that you've probably been aware of it, but you thought that you had dealt with it. You know, both of these cards here are signifying to me that you thought that it was finished, that you had worked on it and it's completed. This card here is telling me that there is more work to do, and that there is an ownership aspect here, which is why the lesson is coming up. This is an ownership of realizing that some of the work you need to do is perhaps putting your parts of this down. Perhaps it is, you know, your belief that you have to continue to carry it with you because you are a strong person, that you believe that it's a burden for life. Well, it's not. This is a group reading, so I can't, you know, say that, but that's the message that I'm getting from Spirit, that this is not a burden for life. It is a burden until you realize it's a burden and you choose to put it down by connecting with Spirit. It is definitely something if it was mine, it would be something that I would be working on, whether that was myself or with somebody else. Thank you so much for being here today. As always, if you would like a private reading, there is a link in the description box below. Please make sure to follow me on Facebook. I'll be introducing some new things on Facebook shortly. Thanks for being here. Like, share and subscribe so that other people know this video is worth watching. Thank you for being here. Bye for now.